The smartest NFL moments of all time. Big shout out to Red Zone for the video I'm about to react to. Hold on, man. Let's see who's smart and who's stupid.
These are the smartest moments in
Oh,
NFL
wow.
history.
I've never seen that.
I have never seen this.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh.
First up, we got Greg Toller hitting one of the craziest fumble recoveries ever. Because right
Okay.
after the Falcons lost the ball, the Cardinals had an opportunity to recover until it started bouncing towards the sideline.
Oh.
But even then, Toller hadn't given up hope.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's fire. Wow.
And
What a
definitely blew
save.
the defense's mind in Austin's part.
That's crazy.
Which team would be dumb enough to fall for this? The Bills have a couple guys who are nowhere near that stupid. Amari Cooper and Josh Allen might be some of the smartest players in the league. 'Cause
Really?
on first and goal, they improvised this wild hook and ladder play.
This is behind Cooper who brought it in.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, that's crazy. Was that on purpose, though, or was that on
That's definitely
accident?
the first time I've seen a QB throw a pass for his own receiving touchdown. But there's a first time
That's
for
crazy.
everything. Like seeing Ty Montgomery make a play I didn't even know was possible. Guess that's what happens when you put a Stanford grad in pads.
Now let's take a look here.
He did know what he was doing. See how he deliberately gets out of bounds, make sure he's out, and then touches the football.
Wait, what?
I'm surprised this hasn't been taken advantage of more. Sure,
Wait,
it's
what?
rare as hell for a scenario like this to happen, but I know a few teams that would take any advantage they could get.
Wait, what did he
Not every
do? I
smart
don't even
play is
understand what he
based on
did.
high brain power. Sometimes
Go in the comments, explain to me. I don't even really understand what he did. Was that a touchback? I'm confused.
there's both a 1,000 IQ and a 0 IQ move on the same play. Like during this Broncos-Raiders game from 2018. And shockingly, the Raiders were the smart ones here thanks to Dwayne Harris.
So he drives it deep over the head of Harris. Let's see if they can pin it inside the 10.
Oh, wow.
As good job by the coverage unit.
Oh,
Harris
wow.
Says, I'm going to play this.
Oh, wow.
Look at the return he gets.
Is that Devontae Adams?
What a smart move by Harris.
Wait,
As
what?
he gets
Wait, what
free.
did he do? What did he do?
How about it, Raider Nation? Wow.
What did he
This
do?
was Yiadom looking to pin this. And then Harris says, I will gladly take it and go.
That Bronco player has the
Oh.
field awareness of a stick of butter. Like Harris's play was quick thinking, but it only happened because the other guy's brain was back in Denver. But then he
That's
got plays where the
crazy.
smartest thing you can do is literally not score. Because contrary to popular belief, scoring isn't always the best option.
Really?
We'll
How?
watch Westbrook take a seat at the 1, and they'll just hang
What?
on to the football and let the clock run down.
Oh, wow.
to
That's
the
actually
2-minute
smart.
warning.
That's going to take an insane
Yo.
amount of self-control to not just spike the ball in the end zone, but because he took a knee at the 1, the 2-minute warning hit, and Dallas never got another chance.
Wow.
That is being a team player. And Julio Jones
Yeah, because I would have just scored. I ain't gonna lie. I need my stats, my boy.
became the ultimate team player in a 2018 game against the Cowboys, because he was out there playing offense and defense on the same play.
Ow. Oh, that boy got a tackle.
Like, genuinely, that was an impressively hard hit for a wide receiver, but not as impressive as Jared Goff's performance of his life. Because when the Lions played the Bears, Jared Goff went full method actor to secure the smartest play of the season.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Now kid stumble.
Oh, he faked
after
it?
taking the snap, but it doesn't matter.
Wait, that was a
Florida
fake
was
stumble?
right there. That's gonna kind of stumble out of there.
Yo, that's
And I wonder if that was a
crazy.
trick play because now it looks intentional. You have Jahmyr Gibbs fake falling. You have Jared Goff fake
Yo, that's
stumbling.
so
I know
funny,
the
bro.
defenders' heads were spinning after that one. But it's not like it's the only time the Lions had a smart QB. The smartest might have been Matthew Stafford in this game against the Cowboys. Because when Stafford threw the Megatron, the Lions were suddenly at the 1 with no timeouts and just 17 seconds on the clock. So Matt just starts screaming for everyone to line up.
Clock it,
And
clock it,
usually
clock it, clock it, clock it.
That means the QB is getting ready to spike it, but not Stafford. He was chefing up something the whole time.
Oh, wow. That's so smart. That is so smart.
If
Wow.
he hesitated, he'd get stuffed. If he second-guessed, the clock expires. And that's why you
Wow.
always gotta commit. Which is perfectly shown by this Peyton Manning trick play. Because Peyton Manning ran the ball in the craziest way you'd expect. by
Peyton
not
Manning
telling
ran it?
anyone.
What?
Seriously. He learned from his dad that if you don't tell your coach or team what's going on, it'll sell fake plays perfectly. Yes, he was right. Because he even faked out the cameraman.
Peyton still has the football.
Oh, wow. He got a rushing touchdown?
Manning runs it in for
He
the
got a
touchdown.
run.
Genius move for sure.
Yo, that's
Hey,
gotta-
put some hustle on that run, man. Even with the fake, he still took an hour to get in.
Yeah, that was mad slow, 1. And 2, bro, that's probably his only rushing touchdown ever, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's
I
funny.
think that was a one-time play. But Travis Kelce has a play so smart, he can't stop using it. And he uses it so often at this point, we just need to name it the Kelce lateral. Not a whole lot of tight ends have enough composure to copy this anyway.
Mahomes, clean pocket. The ball
Oh, wow.
Kelce back to P-Ryan.
That's fire.
In trouble, throws back across his body. Oh, and a flip.
Oh, wow. That's
Kelce.
fire.
Look at this. McCoy in the open field. That was
Wow.
sick.
You know it's a wild play when you got a 50-year-old Burkhardt saying, that was sick. But it's not nearly as sick as this Ravens play, because one of the Ravens' smartest moves ever came down to the punter, and Sam Cook's big moment came. He took the snap, held onto the ball, and just kept holding it.
No one's rushing him. Flags come down.
Nah, that's crazy, bro.
Nobody has even come close to Cook.
Bro, what the heck?
Back of the end zone
And then
as
took a
time
safety?
expires.
See, a game can't end on a defensive penalty. So since the punter held the ball, everyone else went for every offensive penalty in the book to run out the clock. Cook had the
Wow.
Bengals looking like the Charlotte Hornets with how much time they wasted. Crazy work to see a punter get paid to hold onto the ball with his life. But Sean McVay straight up hired a coach to hold himself. But
Bruh.
honestly, it's for one of the funniest, dumbest, yet somehow smartest reasons ever.
I literally have to spend most of my time while the offense is on the field standing right behind Sean and ripping him out of the way when the official's about to run into him just so we don't get a penalty. There is an art to it. It is kind of like a dance. Maybe tango, like a sidestep into the path
Yo,
of the
he's
official and then remove
paying
that.
a man to move his hips and move him around on the field. Why don't you just move? I mean, I guess you're thinking about the game, so you don't got time to focus on that. That's actually kind of smart. Why does no other coach do it, though?
And if it works, it works. But we really got professional human walkers before GTA 6.
Nah,
Honestly, the
facts.
wildest part is how good he is at it. Dude's single-handedly protecting the Rams from extra penalties. McVay really took football IQ to a different level. But Randy Moss's football IQ is through the stratosphere. Because right after he caught this pass from Dante Culpepper, he got hit. But not all smart plays are from an insanely smart player. Sometimes it's just because every player except one is borderline brain dead. Like when the Giants stood around and watched Clay
Matthews, the guy who made the hit, is on top of the ball.
The ruling on the field is that it was a fumble. The ball was recovered by Green Bay at the 45-yard line.
This is why you always play to the whistle. But some guys,
I don't even understand that, but I don't like that you just made my New York Giants look bad, Red Zone. Chill out, boy. Man, watch out.
play 2 steps ahead of it, especially at Reed. Because he outsmarted one of the highest football IQ QBs ever, Peyton Manning. See, Peyton's whole shtick was knowing exactly what the defense would do, when they would do it, and how they'd do it. But during one Colts-Ravens game, Ed Reed went into footballception and took the scheming to a different level. And he did it so well, even Belichick was glazing him.
One of the greatest plays I ever saw him make was against Manning, where he lined up on the weak side of the formation, and on the snap of the ball, he turned and ran to the middle of the field like he was going to play in the middle of the field. And of course, you know, Manning read that and came back and threw the go back to the X. And Reed knew that when he went to the middle of the field that Peyton would come back to the X. So he ran to the middle of the field, but without even looking at the quarterback, he just turned and wheeled before he got there, and just knew that was going to be the play, and ran over the sideline.
That's W-bait,
It's actually crazy to
W-I-Q.
think how well executed that play was.
Wow.
He literally knew Peyton knew what he'd do. So he showed Peyton the look. Peyton knew he knew. Then stopped doing what Peyton knew because he knew Peyton knew he knew. When you got Belichick in shock, you know you're doing something
Nah,
right,
that's a
because
fact.
Belichick is the ultimate smart coach. I mean, he basically studied the NFL rulebook like his life depended on it. And after reading every page of the rulebook, he found a clock loophole. Basically, you can't take 2 delay of game penalties back to back, but you can take a delayed game and a false start. And when this happens, the clock just runs and runs and runs.
What?
And when the Pats were up against the Jets 33-0, that's exactly what Belichick did.
What? He just ran the whole clock out?
Delay of game, offense. This penalty's declined. It's 4th down.
Right, so the Patriots took an intentional...
Bro, what?
Look at Belichick. He can't even hold it back.
Wasting 90 seconds of game time is an actual life hack. So when the NFL figured out what was going on, they banned it in 2017. But not
Wow.
before letting Belichick get a taste of his own medicine. And what makes it even funnier, the coach doing the same thing to Bill was one of his former players.
Oh,
Mike
wow.
Delay of game.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Yo.
4th down.
Tennessee's going to try and take multiple delay of games. Now watch Belichick saying when the clock starts here, what happens is it start to run, because I don't want him wasting my clock. We're down 1. Vrabel's like, I want to waste this clock and go to 5 minutes. Ball start, there it is, exactly right. And that's why Vrabel's going to take multiple delay of games. That was just a different way to take a delay of game.
The student becomes the teacher. Seeing Belichick absolutely rage over his own tactic is pure dopamine. Same way seeing
Now that's actually hilarious. So you could just, if you get the ball on offense, you could run out the whole clock until the end of the game if you wanted to. That's weird, bro. I'm glad they banned that, bro.
Roger McCrary's plays get you fired up because he took a page out of Greg Toller's book to save the ball. See, right when McCrary grabbed the ball, he realized he was floating out of bounds. So at the absolute last possible second, he dumps it right into the hands of Joshua Kalu.
The end zone, McCrary tipped it.
Wow.
And it's intercepted by Kalu. Oh,
Wow.
Bro,
Imagine if he could have pitched it back. He could have pitched it back to number 23. That would have been crazy for for sure touchdown because he almost stepped out. That's funny, bro.
He did that all himself is crazy. Bro literally caught his first interception by standing still and waiting. But Troy Polamalu doesn't wait for anyone. I mean, he used to stop plays before they even started because he studied the opponent's counts so hard, he had better timing as a safety than the other guy's own offense.
Don't want to take any chances.
Oh my gosh, damn.
Again, jumping the gun.
Jeez
The more you watch
Louise.
it, the more insane it gets.
Bro, that man was literally hopping a lot, bro.
If he's off by half a second,
he a
it's an
goat,
offsides call. And yet, he was never off. But risking a penalty is one thing. Nick Foles risked his whole career on one play. To be fair, no one expected this Nick Foles guy to beat the Patriots. And they definitely didn't expect him to pull off the most disrespectful Galaxy Brain
Philly
trick play
special.
in Super Bowl history.
Philly? Yeah, let's do it. Philly special. Ready?
Doug Peterson's looking at him like he just had his brain melted. But the only thing that ended up melting was the Pats' defense, because Foles' 1,000 IQ move actually worked.
And they're going to snap it.
That's crazy, bro. Imagine he would have dropped that, bro.
Just the play either. It's the play, plus how they disguised it, plus calling it on the 4th and goal, plus the absolute disrespect of running it on the biggest stage imaginable.
Super Bowl.
And it's not the only one that scores off of a prayer, because the Dolphins' improvised hook and lateral might be one of the smartest timed plays in history.
It's a Miami
Not only
Miracle,
were the
right?
Dolphins getting smoked by the Chargers 24-0, but it was also the divisional round of the playoffs. And going into the second quarter, they needed something, anything, to turn the tide against the Chargers. So they swapped QBs. Don Shula for Don Strock early in the second quarter, and that was exactly what they needed.
Wide open is Tony Nathan. Nathan takes it all the way down to the 35-yard line of San Diego at
Bro,
20.
football back then was so weird looking. Like, look at that. It just sounds, hey, take it down to the 35-yard line. Like, it's so weird, bro.
7-yard gain.
With Strock in, the Dolphins finally
Like,
saw
look
some
at their
progress.
drips. Ew, bro. What the heck, bro?
Passing game, a field goal, and their first touchdown of the day. And to top it all off, the Chargers missed their field goal attempt on their next drive, which brings us all the way to the end of the first half. The Dolphins have the ball again, and there's just 6 seconds on the clock, only enough time for one more play. And this is where we see the genius of receiver Duriel Harris activate.
Hard throw. Look at that!
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
A millisecond later or earlier would have
Oh,
been a fumble in the end of the
wow.
half. And
Nah,
Tony
that's
Nathan,
actually
what
fire.
A sleeper. Dude was mid-route,
That's
saw the
like-
ball's path, and
Wow.
booked it to take that lateral. It's tough that the Dolphins ended up losing that game, but I'll always remember that hook and lateral over the score anyway.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's like Madden, bro. That's like playing Madden, bro.
People will always remember Aaron Rodgers as one of the greats. And while that's definitely part of it, he was also just insanely smart at manipulating defenses. Because no one, not even Tom Brady, used the free play rule as well as Rodgers.
And Rodgers going to try the home run ball. Why not? And connects. And into the end zone is Greg Jennings for a touchdown.
See, if a defender jumps the line of scrimmage early and the offense snaps the ball before the whistle, the offense essentially gets a free play. If the play goes well, ignore the penalty. If not, fall back on it and get the yard gain. And Aaron Rodgers was so infamous for baiting defenses to jump that he has a grand total of 12 free play touchdowns.
Wow.
Pass into the end zone. Why not?
Wow.
Again, a jump, a free play. Rodgers is going to go to the end zone. He's got
Wow.
That is like weaponized trolling. You
Yeah,
know
that's
after
messed
every
up,
insane
bro.
free
Because at that point, it's like, yo, like if you get it picked off, whatever happens, it don't count. But if I score, it counts. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, he was looking at the defense like, well, sorry about it. But Tyler Lockett just makes the whole defense look useless with his anti-contact moves. See, with stories of Richie Incognito or Antonio Brown flying off the handle post-CTE, a lot of players have started taking their health more seriously.
Oh, wow.
Tyler Lockett is the prime example of trying to last as long as possible in the NFL.
A lot of people can call you soft or, whatever the case is, but they don't understand the things that we see when you're done playing football. When people talk about CTE and people talk about injuries and having to get all these different surgeries after they're done, like,
that's real.
Everybody wants you to put your body on the line for what? Your entertainment, your amusement, whatever. I mean, for us, we put our body on the line every single day. And so just because you don't make a first down doesn't mean, whatever stuff is that people say.
But that's not just some motivational speech for the media. He lives by that idea.
Let me see. Oh, wow. He literally went down. I mean, yeah, why not? You got the big play already. You got the yards. You might as well go down. I don't blame him, bro. Look at that. Okay, right there, you could have tried to score. I ain't gonna lie. That was stupid. But the other plays, I get it. Yeah, bro, go down.
That is a smart player. Because look, as much as I love the old days of James Harrison showing off 20-year-olds how football used to be, you can't deny that Tyler is smart as hell for avoiding those skull breakers. Man's turned a 5-year NFL side quest into a decade of iconic route running. But no one is smarter than Luke Kuechly. Because if there's one player that gives Peyton Manning a run for his money, it's Luke.
Luke Kuechly, he reminds me of Peyton Manning. Guy that is totally prepared, that is going to know what's going to happen before it takes place because
I've reacted to a video about him. He's like the smartest NFL player, bro. He literally like studies like everything. Like he's so smart.
Studied so much. He's one step ahead of everybody else.
Luke Kuechly sees it, smells it, the guards and tackles pulling. He's so instinctive. I knew that was coming.
Luke is like the Rain Man of football, because off the field, he's basically a shut-in. Super quiet, studies film constantly, and memorizes every possible formation. When it's game time,
goes onto the field, flips a switch, lunatic.
Hey, I'm all over him. We gotta go now, Chuck.
Woo, that boy was a dog, man. He retired early, too. That was smart for his mental health.
That's a straight-up Clark Kent the Superman transformation. But his studying isn't just to make crazier hits. He's constantly blown players' minds for basically predicting the future.
You break the huddle, he comes down, he's like, watch the screen.
Mike, screen!
He knew everything before it happened. Everything.
Trap! Trap! Pass, Thomas! Pass, Thomas! Draw!
And I'm like, man, how in the world did you know they were going there?
Yeah, how do you know that?
It just really makes the game easy.
Knowing that many plays from that many teams doesn't even give you a high football IQ. Kuechly was actually just absurdly smart. But while he's the smartest player, the Colts are one of the smartest franchises. Cause no joke, decades ago, the Colts once pulled off a heist greater than Ocean's 11. See, before the Indianapolis Colts were the Indianapolis Colts, they were the Baltimore Colts.
Really?
They've been there since 1953. So they were ingrained in Baltimore culture with their fans, with players like Johnny Unitas, and even 2 NFL championships in the 50s. But by the 80s, things had kinda gone south. Revenue was down, attendance was down, and the stadium was aging badly.
Irsay wanted us to pay for preseason games, 1 o'clock starts, improvements to Memorial Stadium. The legislature was about to use eminent domain to seize the club, so Irsay had to make a move.
If you love the Colts, why don't you treat me right?
But we found his lawyer in Indianapolis, Michael Chernoff.
Why is there so much secrecy about all of this? Why can't you comment?
No comment.
Well, the city and state did not care about treating him right. So while the government was figuring out how to take control of the team by force, Irsay just moved it. Straight up at 10 p.m. while Baltimore was sleeping, Irsay brought in a fleet of 18-wheeler moving trucks. Every desk, file, helmet, and piece of equipment they could find was put on the trucks and gone. By sunrise, the Colts were officially in Indianapolis with a brand new stadium, financial incentives, and a fresh start. Obviously, Baltimore wasn't happy.
I just can't believe this is happening.
The Colts had to sneak out of town at night. It degrades a great tradition of the city in football.
And I doubt if Robert Irsay realizes tonight the full impact
or
I mean, bro, y'all got the Baltimore Ravens now. I think you're okay, bro. You got Lamar Jackson, you had Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, freaking Joe Flacco, John Harbaugh, championships, Torrey Smith, Derrick Henry, freaking like, bro, what, Steve Smith Sr. I think it was a good decision, bro, because the Colts, let's be real, bro. Ain't nothing been good about the Colts since Andrew Luck. A little bit of Daniel Jones. But other than that, they've been butt. You know what I mean? Oh, and Peyton Manning. Okay, never mind. The Colts actually did have a legendary run too. Oh, they're both really good teams, you know? Go in the comments, who's better, the Baltimore Ravens history or the Indianapolis Colts history?
Of his sin in pulling away a football team that was a big part of the fiber of Baltimore.
Listen, those are all fair complaints, but if the government's breathing down your neck, I'd say a heist is probably the only way out. The fact they actually pulled this off makes it one of the smartest, coldest moves in NFL history. And yet, the Broncos had already one-upped them the year earlier. See, in 1983, the Baltimore Colts held the #1 draft pick and selected John Elway. There was just one problem.
I want to give myself the best chance to be the best quarterback that I could, and I looked at that organization and what they were doing, and I didn't think that was going to give me the best chance to show off my talent.
Let me break that down and what he really meant. I ain't gonna lie, he wasn't giving me the ball how I needed it. They wasn't letting me shine, so I had to dip on they ugly ass. Hey, time out. You know what I'm saying? I had to go somewhere else. Hey, time out. Lame ass. Hey, time out.
Not show off my talents, but to win a Super Bowl and to win as a football team.
So if I was going to trade him, it was going to be for the greatest trade in the history of pro football.
When no one met the asking price, the Colts took Elway.
And on top of that, Elway also had a nuclear option to get what he wanted. He had a legitimate professional baseball career he was ready to pursue instead.
Baltimore selects quarterback John Elway of Stanford.
I went down and picked him. When I came back up, they were already talking about, look, we'll just leave here and go do what we want to do. And so I knew it was going to be difficult to keep them from trading.
And while the Colts debated about trading Elway to avoid him dropping out entirely, the Broncos watched it all like hawks. They knew Baltimore owned the pick, but also knew Elway wouldn't play. And just days after the draft, Baltimore was so desperate to not waste their #1 pick, they dropped their asking price for Elway. And I'm talking like dropped it to the bottom of the barrel, because when the Broncos met the Colts, this is all they asked for.
He said Chris Hinton, he said Mark Herman, and #1 the next year. You know, I kept waiting to see what else it was, and he said, and I said, is that it? And he said, yeah, that's it.
That might be the craziest steal I've ever heard of.
Yeah,
genius move on Broncos' part to steal it for cheap, but they basically got a Lambo for the price of a Camry. But as crazy as that trade was, it's nothing compared to what the Cowboys did. Because in the 90s, the Cowboys pulled off the smartest, biggest trade in NFL history. And they basically had no other option but to shoot for the moon. Because the 1989 Cowboys sucked. It was like 1 in 15 type sucked. At that time,
Cowboys suck. They always have, and they still do.
They had just hired a new coach too, Jimmy Johnson, who basically got the task of rebuilding a franchise from dust. Then, while on a jog with some of his assistant coaches, it struck him.
I said, what do we have that anybody wants? and we didn't have a very good team. We had one Pro Bowl player, and that was Herschel Walker. I kind of just threw it out there, well, what if we traded Herschel Walker? And of course, all my offensive coaches got all irritated. They didn't like the idea at all.
He really spoke it into existence by just bringing it up. Suddenly, out of nowhere, the Browns called him asking for a trade for Herschel, and Jimmy knew he was onto something. See, Herschel Walker was a freak of nature as a running back. His stats were raw. The hype around him was off the charts. Even his workouts seemed superhuman.
Started doing about, sometimes 2,000 push-ups, 3,000 sit-ups.
What the hell? That boy's a Terminator.
Pull-ups, dips are, 1,000 dips and, different things like that.
Yeah, so you get the idea.
And how you doing all that with that voice, my boy? Different things like that. You know what I'm saying? Yo, he will dead knock you out with one punch and talk to you like, I told you not to step up to me, boy.
Of how most teams viewed him in terms of value. And Johnson played into that idea.
Shout out to him, man. Legendary.
Eventually.
And we'll just see if somebody wants to top this offer. As it turned out, I talked to Mike Lynn with the Minnesota Vikings, and he faxed me a proposal. I tweaked it a little bit, and we made history.
That's the understatement of the century. Minnesota basically thought they were just one superstar away from a Super Bowl. So trading 6, 7, 8 players for Walker was a stupidly easy decision. And also a stupid position. Because Minnesota didn't do the one thing you should always do when making a deal. Read the fine print. See, what the Vikings saw in the deal was Herschel Walker followed by a bunch of Cowboys backups. Rotational guys, people Johnson had no intention of keeping. But what they didn't know? Johnson had written a clause in the contract that said, if the Vikings cut any of those players, each one of those turned into an extra draft pick for Dallas. So
they end up with 9
NFL starters out of the 91-92 drafts.
Wow.
So 9 guys in 2 drafts, sort of fast forward this organization from 1-15 to winning 3 Super Bowls in 4 years.
Wow,
By
that's
the way,
actually
on top
crazy.
of that, their severance package for Herschel included $1.5 million in cash, a Mercedes, and a home in Minnesota. So even the player got a better deal than the Vikings, who got Walker and 0 Super Bowls.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd say that's the smartest moment in NFL history by a long shot.
That's crazy. Yeah, that was super smart. That was some sleazy stuff though, but that's the world of business, bro. You know what I'm saying? It ain't personal, it's just business. You know how it gets, man. But hey, I love y'all boys so much. Thank you for just watching and supporting me, bro. Thank you for just being here for me, guys. Like, you guys truly changed my life, bro. Like, and I'm just so blessed and happy to be in the position that I'm in, bro. I plan on turning up, bro. I plan on starting multiple other channels this year and just continuing to grind and post for y'all boys and just trying to be the best version of myself that I can be. I might start streaming on Twitch too. I'm thinking about it. Got a lot of just plans that I'm thinking about getting into, man. It wouldn't be possible without the love and support of you guys. You guys are genuinely awesome, and I can't thank you enough for watching and supporting me. So thank you. And if you got a dream, chase it, bro. In 2019, I was broke, bro, working at Dollar General, making $7.25 an hour minimum wage, bro. 2026, you see it, $1 million on the main channel, 100K here. Like, we popping, bro. We doing our thing, man. God really blessed this, man. So just stay positive, stay hungry, and do your thing, man. Make sure you guys always put God first. Remember that you are chosen, so move like it. I'll see y'all on the next one. It's your boy Eli Mack. Gang, gang.